What's going on, guys? Welcome to our daily show where we discuss the fourth stimulus check update, the U.S. economy, what's going on in Washington, D.C., what's going on in the United States, money, investing, and the $3.5 trillion stimulus package, which will be the largest stimulus package yet to date, almost twice the size of the $1.9 trillion stimulus package, the third stimulus check package, which had $1,400 stimulus checks and the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits, those monthly checks of $200 to $250 to $300 checks that are going out right now that are going to end at the end of this year unless they extend that in this next stimulus package, which is one of the stimulus provisions that they want to include in this fourth stimulus package. But they need to pass this next stimulus package. They also want to include adult tax credits in this next stimulus package as well. We're going to be discussing this next stimulus package as well as a major announcement by the World Health Organization and everything going on in our country today. If you're new to the channel or if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure to subscribe down below. This announcement just comes out today. Despite innovations in development and research, that is not going away and is likely going to circulate through society similar to influenza, the flu. Officials at the World Health Organization said in a press conference today, on Tuesday. CNBC reports that experts, including Mike Ryan, the executive director at the World Health Organization's Health Emergency Program, told reporters in a press briefing that it will continue to evolve and will not be eradicated anytime soon. Quote, I think it's here to stay with us and it will evolve like the influenza. It will evolve to become one of the other that affects us, he says. This comes as the Delta variant, a mutation of the original strain, now accounts for the majority of new cases in the U.S. clinical data has shown that offered Pfizer, Moderna, and Johnson & Johnson wanes over time, prompting the need for booster shots to further curtail surges in new infections. Ryan doubles down on his stance, saying it will not simply disappear with increased and prevention efforts. Ryan says people have said we're going to eliminate or eradicate. He says no, we're not. Very, very unlikely. Booster shots and additional dosages are slated to be ready by September 20th, officials estimate. Recent reporting suggests that federal regulators may need more time for thorough research to come out on booster shot health impacts and notes that Pfizer may be the only booster shot available initially. Yeah, so what are your thoughts on this announcement by the World Health Organization that the might not be eradicated and might be around forever, like the flu? Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Do you think that this could be around forever, like the flu? Yeah, it's a little bit scary. I mean, this is a little bit, it's a more serious than the flu. It does more people than the flu. This comes as we just crossed the 40 million mark that of U.S. cases of people that have tested positive, and authorities know about it. If you take an at-home test or if you've never alerted anybody about it, nobody would even know. But 40 million people have tested positive and authorities know about it. And 650,000 people have died in the U.S. alone. Yeah. And when we look at worldwide, 219 million people worldwide have tested positive and 4.5 million deaths worldwide. Yeah, pretty serious. Pretty serious. This comes as President Biden says he's going to outline new strategy for controlling the Delta variant on Thursday. And we don't know if there's going to be new restrictions or new mandates or anything like this that are going to be coming in effect. This will be announced as early as Thursday. I will keep you up to date on any information, or as soon as anything comes out, I will keep you up to date on this. The White House is also asking Congress for $24 billion in disaster relief. The White House says today on Tuesday that they're asking Congress to provide an additional $24 billion in emergency funding to address national disasters as part of a continuing resolution to avert a government shutdown. Administration officials said that the additional funding is necessary to fulfill unmet needs from disasters over the past 18 months, including Hurricane Laura and Delta, and recent disasters like California wildfires and Hurricane Ida. Officials said that $14 billion is needed to address disasters and extreme weather before Ida, and anticipate that at least additional $10 billion will be needed for the response to Ida, though the full scale of the damage from the latest hurricane is not yet known. The White House is also proposing a stopgap bill with disaster aid as well, as Congress hashes out trillions of dollars in spending for the next stimulus package, as well as the fiscal year ends at the end of September, and they will need to pass a government annual budget at the end of September, or a potential government shutdown looms as well. The Biden administration on Tuesday proposed a stopgap measure to fund the government as lawmakers haggle over a $1 trillion infrastructure package and a $3.5 trillion stimulus package, as well as the fiscal year ends at the end of September. And they also have to pass an annual budget resolution for the government shutdown, an annual budget for the government, or else we could have a government shutdown as well. So they're proposing a stopgap bill, which will fund the government temporarily, possibly for a month or two or three, as opposed to passing a whole annual budget. So yeah, nonetheless, there's a lot going on. Now, a stopgap resolution would have to be an agreement between the Republicans and the Democrats. If they pass the $3.5 trillion stimulus package with before the end of the month, they could actually, I believe, put the annual budget resolution in there and pass the annual budgets and avert a government shutdown, passed completely by the Democrats on their own. They also could raise the debt limit on their own as well, as the vast majority of Republicans are proposing to not raise the national debt limit at all, even though they pretty much have to do that. And the Republicans and the Democrats raised the national debt limit twice during former President Donald Trump's presidency, and they have to raise the debt limit or else the government will default, the United States will default, and that has basically never been done. It would be like a bank not being able to lend out money, and then the U.S. government will not be able to fulfill its obligations, and, well, the U.S. government will default. I think they're going to do everything they can to avert that, but right now, like 90% of Republicans are saying that they're not going to agree to raise the debt ceiling, even though they have to do it. There's no way around it. They can't not raise the debt ceiling. The government spends more money than they make every single year. Former President Donald Trump added $8 trillion plus to the national deficit in 4 years. There's just no way to balance the budget immediately. Every president in recent history has done it, whether you're Republican or Democrat. There's just no way. You have to raise the debt ceiling or else the government defaults. So I don't know what they're going to do, but they have to do it really, really soon. In fact, they're saying that the government could run out of money as early as next month in October. So they have to raise the national debt limit, the national deficit. They have to come to an annual budget agreement or a stopgap agreement by the end of this month. Or they have a government shutdown. Those are two different things. They have to pass the $3.5 trillion stimulus package. They have to pass the infrastructure package after that. Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's absolute craziness. All this while millions of Americans just had their unemployment benefits end literally yesterday. Literally yesterday. And the August jobs report just came out, and it was terrible. And a lot of people are saying that because this unemployment benefits ended, and it's going to be very, very difficult. A lot of Democrats want to pass more unemployment benefits, but it's going to be very difficult to pass this. And really, the easier way to put money in people's pockets would be stimulus checks. And because Democrats want to pass more unemployment benefits, the easier way to do it would be a stimulus check. And the easier way to do it would be to just pass the stimulus checks. And will disappointing jobs data lead to a forced stimulus check? Yeah, Democrats can easily put a stimulus check in this next package. Remember, the first 3 stimulus check packages, nobody paid for them. Nobody paid for them in the fact that they didn't raise any taxes, and nobody paid for the packages because the government already spends more money every single year than they take in tax dollars. So those 3 packages were paid for by the national deficit. But this next stimulus package and the infrastructure package is going to be paid for by raising taxes. So this next stimulus package, or this next stimulus check, if they want to include one, could be added in there, especially because unemployment just went away, the eviction moratorium just went away, and a lot of Democrats want to include a forced stimulus check in there. And all of these terrible economic indicators and millions of people, being potentially evicted now that the eviction moratorium's gone, which Democrats are not happy about. The unemployment benefits being expired, which Democrats are not happy about. The Democrats, which are going to pass this next package on their own, Democrats could do something about it by simply including a forced stimulus check, which puts money in people's pockets a lot faster. The Democrats could simply rectify this entire situation by just including a forced stimulus check in this next package, which is exactly what dozens and dozens of Democrats want to do, is have a forced stimulus check. So again, that's exactly what they did in the third stimulus check package, which the Democrats passed on their own. So that's exactly what they could do again with this fourth stimulus check package. And they could extend those monthly checks, those child tax credits, and they want an adult tax credit for this next package as well. There are some extended programs that may provide some additional help that are going on right now as well. Number 1 is state eviction protection. Even though the Supreme Court has struck down the federal eviction protection, as you can see here, states such as California, Illinois, New Mexico, and New York have eviction protections in place that give renters protection for a few weeks or a few more months, depending on each state. Also, even though a federal eviction moratorium is no longer in place, having just a pending application for government assistance could help renters stay in their homes longer, such in states such as Minnesota, Nevada, New York, Oregon, and Washington have adopted such rules. Number 2 is nutrition benefits. Starting in October, benefits through SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, will increase across the board for the first time since 1975. And it's the largest increase ever. The average adjustment will be a roughly 25% bump from pre-levels. The average increase will be about $36 more per person. Some people get more, some people get less, but that is the average amount. And $36 per person times 12 months means the average person will get an extra $432 per year. Per year. That's not bad. It's almost like an extra $432 stimulus check. Not bad. And again, these are permanent increases. So this is going to be every single year per person. If you're a family of 2, that's $432 per person. If you're a family of 4, that's $432 per person. Again, some people get more, some people get less. This is just the average per person. Number 3 is the student loan payment pause. This is in effect for over 40 million people. This will go until January 31st for anybody that has student loans through the federal government. Again, student loan payment pause, interest pause, garnish pause for over 40 million people through January 31st. The enhanced child tax credit, these are these monthly payments that were passed through the third stimulus check package. $250 per month for children ages 6 through 17, and $300 per month for children under the age of 6. However, this is only passed for just this 1 year, and Congress, or the Democrats in Congress at least, want to extend this in the next stimulus package, the fourth stimulus package, but they have to pass it, and that is what they're struggling with right now. They want to extend this as one of the stimulus provisions in this next package, possibly until all the way until 2025. So these monthly payments of $250 to $300 per month could possibly go until 2025. But again, everything is up for negotiation and nothing is solidified until they pass the damn package. There's also expected to be an adult tax credit. Remember, a tax credit is basically a check, but we don't know exactly how it's going to work. It is expected to be for adults making under $50,000. I will keep you up to date on this and post it as we learn more information, how it's going to work, how the check is going to work, if it's going to be on your tax return, if it's going to be a monthly check, if it's going to be a check that you basically get as soon as they pass the package, how much it's going to be. I will keep you up to date as soon as we find out more information about the child tax credits, the monthly checks, as well as the adult tax credit and what it will be, how much it will be. There's also more aid on the table. There may be more aid on the way in the upcoming months. The $3.5 trillion budget proposal, the next stimulus package released by the Democrats, would expand many social safety net programs, aka more stimulus programs, and provide more relief for Americans. It would especially benefit low-income workers and those with children, low-income Americans. If passed, the budget would expand the child tax credit, the earned income tax credit, also known as the adult tax credit, child and dependent care tax credit, and paid family and medical leave according to an outline of the plan. It would also extend universal pre-K and to 3 and 4-year-old children, expand child care benefits to working families, and make community college tuition free, 2 years of free community college. Of course, back and forth on the legislation continues, and Democrats rush to write the details, which could change. These are all the items currently being discussed for this next $3.5 trillion package. Could be negotiated down based on moderate Democrats like Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema. Dun dun dun. But yeah, they easily could include a stimulus check in there on top of all these other things. Remember, in the third stimulus check package, which was only $1.9 trillion, only, quote there, they had $1,400 stimulus checks for adults, children, and college student dependents and adult dependents. And they had the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits. And that was $1.9 trillion. $1.9 trillion, and they had all that in there. This one's going to be $3.5 trillion. I don't know, maybe they negotiated down to $3 trillion. But if they had enough room for the largest stimulus checks yet at $1,400 and $1,400 for children. Children only got $600 checks, was the largest amount the children got in rounds 1 and round 2. And they had the $3,000 to $3,600 child tax credits. They had $50 billion of rent assistance, SNAP assistance, utility assistance, and internet assistance, mortgage assistance, and all these other things in the last package, and that was only $1.9 trillion. And this next package is going to be, I don't know, $3 to $3.5 trillion, which is still 50% more, 50 to 75% more. They have plenty of room for anything they want to. Make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't yet. And I will keep you up to date with everything, including the U.S. economy, money, investing, and everything going on in our country. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.